This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 157 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show, The Lone Rangers and the Emerald Necklace. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible.
This show is sponsored by Equestrian Collections, Kentucky Performance Products, and Uncle Jimmy's brand products.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. They'll bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. The Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
This is Glenn the Geek.
And this is Helena B. And you're listening to a lot of things. But one of those is the Stable Scoop Radio Show right here on the Horse Radio Network.
First thing I have to do, Helena, is say happy birthday.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. It's 3 years we've been doing this.
3 years we've been doing this. Yes. Yay!
You know, they
barely.
Say if a business, well, they say if a business, you know, you used to be in the business world. They still are. They say if a business lasts 3 years, you're going to last forever. So we're here. We did it. We're a couple days over 3 years.
We are. We're big boys and girls now. Well,
I have to thank everybody. I have to thank our sponsors for being here all this time with us, not just for the Stable Scoop show, but for all the shows. But Stable Scoop was first. And I have to thank all the hosts, and I especially have to thank Helena because she's put up with me for the longest. So that's 3 years.
No, Jennifer's got me beat there, but, I do come in a close second.
You do. And, all of our affiliates and especially our listeners. We have listeners that we call them the Legacy Club that have listened to every episode of every show we do. We know of 2 of them at this point. If you're another one of those, please let us know. But we know of 2 members of the Legacy Club that have actually listened to every episode of every show that we do. So I haven't even done that. That's over 1,500
I don't even come close to that.
That's over 1,500 episodes now on all the different shows. But this show we started, and do you know that the first real show we did a little introductory show, but then do you remember the title of the first real show that we did?
The first real show.
Yep, and it was in August of 2008.
Was it the Poop Eating Worms?
Yes, it was. It was Poop Eating Worms and Other Olympic News. It was the title.
That was the best title. That was a really good title.
And I really think it set the stage for what the Horse Radio Network was going to be like.
Oh, totally. We really should be calling this Stable Poop instead of Stable Scoop.
I know.
I am obsessed with poop jokes and poop. I don't know why. Poop is funny. It never gets old.
That's right. And
really,
a lot of people made a lot of money with
stinky humor.
Yes, that's right, with stinky humor. But yeah, so it's been 3 years, and it's hard to believe because it does in many ways just seem like yesterday that you and I started doing this. So, but thank you, by the way, because you're the one. You were one of 2 founding members.
Yeah,
you and I.
It's true. I know. Seriously, that gives new meaning to the phrase "partners in crime" because what we do is a crime. we are assaulting thousands of people weekly. And they just keep coming back for more, so I guess that makes them, I don't know, some kind of masochists or something.
Well, we tried to get a big guest for today, for this anniversary, but they wouldn't respond. So to them, we instead got other big guests.
Yes.
So we have some fun planned for you today. But first, everybody wants to know, everybody that's a regular listener to the show knows that you had your knee surgery last week, and we all want to know how you're doing.
Okay, well, right now I'm sitting in my home studio with my leg up on a chair because I still have to keep it elevated. I am 2 weeks post-op. I am feeling better mentally. I have no pain in my knee, but it does look a little bit like a tree trunk. It's quite large. And
well, you posted pictures on Facebook on the Stable Scoop page if you want to see them. If you want to see pictures of your fat leg.
I know.
With all the holes.
Well,
Looks like somebody shot you with a shotgun.
It felt like that too. It's better. It's healing. I have to be very, very careful not to screw up what the surgeon spent a lot of time fixing. So I have a brand new ACL, an anterior cruciate ligament, and it was formerly part of my hamstring tendon. So they took my own hamstring, folded it over a couple of times, and turned it into an ACL. And they did a couple of other cleanup things in there, sewed me up, put me in this brace that's like almost bigger than me, and said, okay, now don't walk. Don't walk for 9 months.
Did they find anything they weren't expecting?
No.
Okay, that's
Nope. Everything was exactly how they expected. The surgery went very well. I stayed overnight one night in the hospital. A lot of people do this on an outpatient basis, but I have to say, the surgeon that I selected is affiliated with Brown University in Providence. He is fantastic. They're called University Orthopedics, and the practice is fantastic. I mean, you know how hard it is to please me. I've been to hospitals in Boston, New York, Boston and New York. And I think those are probably the top two places for healthcare right now. And my experience with this surgery has been fabulous.
And did they give you some good drugs? Were you happy for a couple days?
I was so happy. I have to tell you, this is so funny. The one of the doctors who came to check on my bandages after the morning after the surgery said, you had us cracking up in the OR. He goes, you were blabbing away about foxhounds and drag hounds, and
Jeez.
You were talking
Even in your drunken stupor, you were talking about horses.
Oh my God. He's like, you gave us an education on fox hunting. We were dying in there. He's like, we didn't want you to fall asleep. He's like, 1 minute you're blabbing about hounds and the next minute you were out. So it was, they give you a little something that makes you a happy camper. And I guess, of course, I take that and I have to educate people. I got to turn everybody into a field hunter. So,
we missed you. We went to the ADA show, which is the trade show for retailers and wholesalers in the horse world. And you've been there every time with us for the last couple of years, and you weren't there. We went last weekend, and we missed you there. I know Jennifer missed you and Jamie missed you because they didn't have their shopping buddy along.
I know. I pretended that it didn't happen because I would have been too depressed. I just pretended that you guys weren't around for the weekend, that maybe you were in Nashville or something. And I didn't do any updates. I didn't go to the ADA website. I didn't talk to anybody.
Well, they did manage to shop without you. So.
Oh, geez. That's a surprise.
Yeah. They did manage to spend money. Jennifer was the one. She was out getting fitted for chaps and for helmets, and it was like, geez.
Really?
Usually Jamie's the one spending all the money. It was Jennifer out there spending money this weekend. She was just shopping full.
She's a bona fide fox hunter once again.
That's right. Yeah, she took Beaker out and went to one fox hunt. And Beaker's our little quarter horse who's never fox hunted in his life, who's only ever done trail riding. But the owners previous had done tons of serious trail riding. Weekends, weeks in the backcountry. So he knows the woods and he knows how to get around. But he's also a dead quiet quarter horse. So she brought him out, and all these people had their warm bloods and were all bouncing around and carrying on. And she said about 15 times at the fox hunt, people said to her, wow, that's a really nice horse. He's little, but boy, he's nice. Because he's like 15 hands.
He's Zeke's doppelganger.
Yeah.
They say the same thing to me. They're like, oh, what a nice pony. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's a horse. He's a quarter. What is he? What's his breeding? I'm like, he's a camp horse.
Yeah,
he's a quarter horse. Yeah.
But she said, he was so easy to ride because when everybody, you stop a lot when you're fox hunting. And she said when everybody else was bouncing around trying not to fall off their horses when they're stopped, he's just standing there, going, this is my best gait.
Telling you, quarter horses make the best field hunters, people. So she was justified in her shopping because she's re-inspired now that she has
that's right.
purpose.
Yeah, she is, and I got to tell you, I was out at the barn yesterday. We're getting off track here, and we can't do this too long because we have such a good show planned. But I was out at the barn where we keep our horse, and the girl who runs the barn had gotten in 2 ponies for resale. And oh my God, Helena, I have to send you a picture. The one pony is the cutest thing you have ever seen.
Okay, wait a minute. How big is it?
Oh, it's about 14 hands and would look so pretty in a cart. So
Carts.
So
It'll
I
look
got
pretty in my backyard.
$250 out of my pocket, and I offered it to her, and she said, if you could add a zero, it's all yours. But all I had was $250. So I said, I'll make payments, like $10 a month for the next 20 years.
Well, that's a good idea.
But she didn't like that idea either. She's going to be able to sell this pony for it is the cutest darn thing. 4 years old, has the sort of an Araby face. It's a Welsh. And it's got a kind of a palomino color with the dun sort of color with the black mane and tail, and it has the black sort of zebra stripes on the legs. Oh, I'm telling you,
I need to see pictures.
I will. I'll send you pictures. If you put this thing in a cart, it would be just beautiful. So, and of course, I've kind of been looking around because I'm into driving again. So,
yeah.
But it's a little above my budget right now.
But 14 hands, that's a little big. We're looking for a pony for Grace.
This would be a perfect pony for Grace. I'm telling you, this thing is just adorable.
Okay.
She would have the spiffiest little pony around.
Because I need more challenges. I can only get around on one leg. I have a horse I can't ride.
That's
Two
right.
horses.
You need another pony.
I need another horse I can't ride.
That's a long way from Kentucky to your house. So
well, that's
we
all
can
right.
Use that as an excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuses when you're horse shopping. We find ways of overcoming those challenges.
Well, I am glad you sound pretty good. You sound like your attitude's pretty good. I know last time I talked to you, you were pretty down before the surgery. So I'm glad to hear that you're up and just recovering and that things went well in the surgery.
Things went well. Yes, I actually have. I'm going to be leaving our recording session today and heading up back to Providence for one of my physical therapy sessions, which is so cool. I should bring like a video camera along. They use these really cool gadgets that attach to your body and like zing your muscles and.
See, you're a geek too, so all those gadgets, you probably love that.
Oh my God. And yeah, especially for us overachievers, they have this little gadget that attaches to your quadriceps muscle. And when you contract the muscle, it's got a little needle that goes from like low to high. And they want you to get, as high as you can. So of course I'm like trying to pin the needle. She's like, whoa, easy. You don't have to try that hard.
It's always a competition with you.
Like a little bit of an overachiever, No,
No,
so the gadgets, I have to report on the gadgets because they're very cool.
As Wendy would say, you are a fire. That's.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk. One of the people that we saw while we were at ADA, while you weren't there, ignoring us, is Equestrian Collections. We saw Chris, and they have provided a coupon now for the listeners of the Horse Radio Network, and the coupon code is HRN, and that'll get you $10 off your next order of $120 or more. Just put HRN for Horse Radio Network and the coupon code section at checkout, and that'll take your discount off. And they were there shopping, obviously, for brand new things that are coming out to the market. And, Chris and Equestrian Collections, they do a terrific job in keeping all the new products up there. They have thousands of products to choose from. So if you're looking for an online place where you can find anything you would need for your horse, for your family, for yourself, for your barn, for your trailer, whatever it is, try equestriancollections.com first. That's equestriancollections.com. Use the coupon code HRN for your discount. Well, we have a tech pick of the week this week. I have a Tack and Habit segment for the end of the show that we recorded while we were at ADA, and then you have a cool guest coming up too. But let's start with the tech pick of the week. Mine's going to be a little bit different this week. It's a website called Kickstarter.com. And while at Kickstarter.com, I discovered that there was somebody on there that we all know, and I think it would be better for her to explain what Kickstarter is because she's on there right now giving it a try. And that is a friend of the Horse Radio Network, one of our favorite people. She's been on our shows numerous times. Helene and I just love her to death. Because you know what? When you get done talking to her, you feel good about yourself. I don't care if you're sitting there
sweetheart.
with your leg up and with the brace on that's the size of a pumpkin, a large pumpkin. She just makes you feel good. So let's talk to Templeton Thompson. Well, hi, Templeton Thompson.
Hi, Glenn and Helena. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, and I'm so glad you could join me for a little bit different thing this time. My tech pick of the week, as I said, is a website called Kickstarter.com. And when you go to Kickstarter.com, one of the things I stumbled across was a video of an absolutely stunningly beautiful girl. and wearing this big belt buckle, and she's got these big earrings on, and then I went, wait a minute, that's someone we know.
They wouldn't be peace earrings, would they?
Yeah, they were, actually. And it was a turquoise shirt. And it was Templeton Thompson. Now, Kickstarter.com, tell us about that. What is Kickstarter.com?
Okay, well, it's an amazing, and I'm going to caveat this with, I don't know anybody at Kickstarter. I want to make sure that folks don't think, oh, she knows these people and she's working with them. Nope, I don't know them from Adam. I've had some really good friends in the music business back at the holidays go, you ought to check this out. And now we're working on a new album, and it was timely. And basically what Kickstarter.com is, it's a creative platform for people like me, all of us who are entrepreneurs, who creative, and be it music, be it whatever you're doing. I saw a cookbook on there the other day. It's a way for you to fundraise, to make money, to make your project, but you're not just sitting there asking people for money. You're offering rewards back. For example, you can, on my project page, to help me make and finish my new Icy Blue Heart album, which is basically all cover songs from the 70s, songs that I grew up and love and were inspired by. That's what this project is. And I've been telling people, too, and making sure that all my horsey friends know there'll be at least one horsey song on there. Of course.
Of course.
I would not be a cowgirl, and I would not be me if there was not at least one horsey song. So anyway, I digress. So basically, Kickstarter, like I said, a platform for creativity for entrepreneurs like all of us. And I have a project page set up. And like Sweet Glenn was just saying, it was very nice. They encourage you to make a video, basically however long you want it to be, to just tell, basically, I guess technically the universe about you, since, it's out there on the internet and anybody can click on there. And I approached it because I'm very blessed, right? Y'all know who I am, and some people out there know who I am, and I'm really grateful for those wonderful fans and the following that we have. But there's a lot of people out there who have no clue who I am. So it's a way for me to say, hi, my name is Templeton Thompson, and introduce you to me and why I'm asking for money to make my project.
Now, this one's a little bit different than the ones you've done before, in that most of the CDs that you've done before are music that you have written and you sing. Yes. You own the rights to. That's the reason that we can play it on our shows, is because you give us permission to do that. There's no record labels involved. You're an independent artist. What you want to do this time is a little bit different, and that is you actually want to play other people's music on a CD. Why did that? Why?
Why? You ask why?
Yeah.
Well, because, I would be remiss, right, as a singer-songwriter, as an artist, if I didn't acknowledge, bless you, honey, that was my rock star fan sneezing. If I didn't acknowledge that, obviously, there are gazillions of artists out there. Well, not gazillions, I guess I couldn't say gazillions, but there's several artists out there in my growing up years and my adult years now that inspire me to my absolute core. And, I love singing other people's songs, too. I did that for a long time in Nashville. I was a demo singer, sang a lot for some really well-known songwriters, and I loved going in and interpreting, their song, albeit I always loved hearing the songwriter's version over someone else singing it. But it's just a chance to kind of, and I say this on my Kickstarter project page, kind of a chance for me to thank Bonnie Raitt and Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles and John Hyatt and folks like Dan Fogelberg, all these people who inspired me musically. It's my chance to now sing their songs. But in singing their songs, I have rights to pay, and it adds up when you're talking about mechanical royalties. That's what those are called. And you have to pay so much per album, so much per song, and then we get into manufacturing costs. And I'll tell you this too, just to say, in the past, I've had a couple of angels show up in my life, and angels continue to show up in our lives and help us to have the funds, to go and press up 1,000 CDs. It's not cheap. Luckily, it's coming down in cost, which is great, but it still costs. It still costs to go buy the shipping supplies for me to mail these rewards out, for me to mail out this brand new signed hard copy Icy Blue Heart album to people, plus anything else they've pledged for. And that kind of also leads me to people. I just want folks to know every dollar does count. It really does. And you can actually be part of my process on this album for $1.
See, I think that's
a free
great.
song from me.
Yeah,
so,
and you're like, and that's what makes, I think, a lot of people don't understand is that the artists, not everybody has a huge record label behind them to spend gazillions of dollars on, manufacturing. But also, some people don't want that because then you give up a certain amount of creative freedom and control over your singing career and your music. So, you're independent and you're kind of still, financially, you're kind of still the little guy. So, like you said,
you got it.
$1?
Yeah. Oh, Helena, thank you for saying that. That, I think it's funny. I mean, we're hugely successful, my husband and I, because we're so blessed in getting to do what we love to do, right? But at the same time, I would be lying, and I even say this in my video, to say that I have gotten rich in the music business. I have not. I'm rich in soul and my beautiful family. Oh, my God, I am so rich and so blessed.
I saw a study the other day, Templeton, on that note. I saw a study the other day that in the music business as a singer-songwriter, if you're going to make minimum wage, what you make at McDonald's, they gave the numbers for the different platforms, but it was something like you have to sell 2,000 CDs a month. And then with digital downloads now and with iTunes and everything, which is where everybody's going, you make even less. It was something like 20,000, 25,000 downloads a month of your songs. Well, that's, if you're talking Madonna, that's pretty easy. If you're talking an independent artist like yourself who's out there trying to get their name out, it ain't so easy. So, and that was just to make McDonald's wages.
Yeah, well, and hey, man, it's the job I signed up for. I love it. I feel so grateful. I have been glued to my computer, to my laptop for the past, ever since we posted my Kickstarter page. I have been glued, and even before, because it took a lot of work to get it ready to post. And again, the job I signed on for, I love it. I do all of my promoting, all of the creating. Me and Sam do all of the you guys know me. We do everything, and I think the perception can come across sometimes to people. Oh, wow, she must have, yes, we are blessed. We have so much, but we're not rich, and we're just like everybody else trying to make a living, doing what we do, and we're passionate about it. And honestly, if I sat down and broke it down per hour, we even joke around and go, when we have $1 million in the bank one of these fine, beautiful days, because I am putting that out there, I wouldn't want to break it down hourly and yearly. Seriously. I mean, really, I'm just not going to go there. But at the same time, I just feel so grateful. So, I just want everyone to, every buck, man, if you can pledge $1 towards this Icy Blue Heart album project, I'd be so grateful, over the moon grateful, and it'll add up. And you get a free original song from me.
It does.
That I've never released.
I'll tell you what, the Horse Radio Network pledged the first money into we were the first ones.
They were, you guys.
And look at where you are now. You're almost at $2,000. Your goal's $5,000. We have 25 days to go, and we had you on the Horses in the Morning show, and I think we tripled your money that day.
I know. So you guys are rock stars.
Let's hope we can do that with the Stable Scoop show. Let's help Templeton out. We'll put the link in our show notes, and also if you go to TempletonThompson.com, it'll be there. And I just want to give you an example, okay? We need to help Templeton out because one of the projects that's on this site that they have raised $16,000 for is to do a documentary on toilet paper.
Oh, God.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
All right, so let's
God love them.
Let's make some money here because there's some really silly stuff on here that have raised a lot of money, and you're more important than the silly stuff. So,
you're so sweet. And can I tell you one more thing, too? And just to let people know, and not to interrupt you, I'm so sorry. You know me, I'm cramming information in. But I think some folks have also been confused. I've gotten questions like, well, how do I pay you? I don't understand. And so basically, if folks will if they'll go to my Kickstarter.com page and you have the link, go there, really look it over, and you look to the right-hand side, you basically see how it starts. There's a little green button that says I want to back this project for a minimum pledge of $1. And then it just goes from there. It goes from $1 to $10 to $25 on up. And 25 actually gets you the hard copy signed CD. So it's really, it can look a little intimidating and kind of complicated. It's really not. And on the left-hand side of the page, if you go all the way down, I put my own little FAQs in there. And one of them is, how do I pay? And I'm trying to, how do I understand the pledging process? So it's all really there, and I hope I'm doing well at explaining it. And if people have questions, they can email me through Kickstarter. It's so easy. So I'm just grateful for any help, and I love you guys for the support. Bless your sweethearts. And I can say how easy it is because I've actually myself, I went in and I've pledged to 3 projects. I wish I could say that I was able to give tons of money. I don't have tons of money yet to give. That's coming down the road. Independently Wealthy is coming. I feel it. And then it gives me more money to give back to great causes because that's what I love to do. But it really is easy. And if you have an Amazon.com account, it's even easier. Of course, Glenn knows all about that. The Horse Radio Network knows all about that because y'all have helped me so much. But just so people know that, and to me, it's like a paying it forward. For me to contribute, I just contributed to a wild horse documentary, and it felt good.
And you can also contribute to the desktop jellyfish tank. It's the desktop jellyfish tank is the first affordable tank designed from the bottom up specifically for jellyfish.
Why would you even give that airtime? Honestly, Glenn, why? You can read it to yourself. You can discuss it behind the scenes. But there's going to be somebody there.
Because I'm in shock is why.
I know.
Well, but then there's so much great. There's so much great, guys. There was a wild horse documentary that got funded. I think it even got overfunded. Actually, that was one I was going to go pledge to, just something, and it was already funded and overfunded. And I found one, I just typed in horses, and I found another one, and they're getting close. And the one that, and that's something else too. There's a little, you know this, Glenn and Helena, when you look at my page and you go to the right-hand side, it's got a little thing, let me know 48 hours before this fundraising campaign is over. And it may be, that, and I get that too because people are busy. So if you have time and you do go to the page and you think, I really don't have time for this today because I'm a busy person. I know we all are. I get that. Who has 4 minutes and 19 seconds to watch a video? I get that too. If you have time, I'd be honored, and Glenn can tell you, you'd be happy if you watched it all the way to the end because there's something fun there and something very, very special and very grateful. Anyway, makes me grand, but you can type in your email address and they'll let you know, hey, you're 48 hours away and we still, she's this far away from her goal, or at that point, maybe we've gotten there. I believe it.
All right. Well, and I wanted to say too, we're going to play one of my new favorite Templeton Thompson songs. We're going to play the show out today.
Really?
And I think you know which one I'm talking about. One of your newest ones. Called Believe, and it's one of my new favorite Templeton Thompson songs. We're going to play the show out today with that, just to get everybody in the mood for hopping on over to TempletonThompson.com and helping you out. And
speaking of, and I keep cutting you off, and I know you're probably like, Templeton, I'm going to wring your neck through the internet, but I just don't want to forget to tell people this too. Right now, I'm offering that song up for free. So if you go to my Third Thursday Sessions page, and you can find all that. You can find all the Kickstarter stuff, too, as well from my Templeton Thompson homepage. It's easy, my website. But, yeah, go there. It's just a way to give back, and it's free right now, inspired by the great Buck Brannaman. And I'm just really proud that we got the gift of the song. It just fell out today, so we're blessed.
Okay. Thank you, Templeton.
All right. Thanks, you guys. I love you guys. You're awesome.
Best wishes to you, hon. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks. Get well. Okay, heal up.
Bye.
Bye.
It's always nice to have Templeton on.
Told you, feel good, don't you?
Yeah, she's not only is she talented and sweet, but I like the fact that she's into new technology and she's innovative. I think she's innovative, and that I don't know. I think everybody should get out there and support her. We'll put a link up on the website to kickstart.com, and I think you should go find Tempe on there.
Yep.
All right, next. This is probably our story here is important to me because it has to do with the Boston area, but I think it goes much farther than just Boston. I think this is a template for what's happening with horses in our country today. We're going to talk to Julia Donahue, and she is president of the Friends of the Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit. A few years ago, the Boston Police Mounted Unit was disbanded because of budget cuts. And, let me tell you, it was a horrible fight. And unfortunately, the mounted unit did not survive. And so I think people around here don't want it to happen to the last remaining mounted unit in the area. And that mounted unit belongs to the Boston Park Rangers. So in the summer of 2010, a couple people got together and started this organization. And what they do is, what the park rangers are charged with is maintaining something called the Emerald Necklace, which is a series of parks and green areas around the city of Boston, the Boston metropolitan area. And you can ride through it. It's connected. You can walk through it. You can bike through it. It's a greenway that's essential to living in not just Boston, but I think in New England, because a lot of people from all over the world come to Boston to visit.
And, one of the things I think about Boston, too, as opposed to other cities that I've been in, like Chicago and even New York, and L.A. especially, is that because Boston's so old, it was here at the beginning of this country, the roads are narrower. So when you're in the city of Boston, it seems more claustrophobic to me because the roads are narrower and everything just seems tighter. So those parks are really the only thing that opens up the city a bit. And when you live there, that's important.
It's so, I've never seen, I've traveled around a bit. I'm a native New Yorker, so I know what it's like to live in New York City. I have, people use these parks. They live in them. They run daily. It's not like just a few people that, that are on the fringe, like the fitness experts or the eco heads. People of all different kinds of backgrounds.
Eco-heads?
Yeah, that's my new term. You like it? Go ahead. So anyway, so people of all kinds use these parks. And, we're talking to horse people here. You guys know how important that mounted patrols are in crowd control. It just works. You go anywhere on your horse. People stop and look. They think twice about walking in front of you, walking behind you, or making sudden moves. So this organization, Friends of the Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit, has decided to try and raise funds to help keep this unit alive. And it costs a lot of money, close to $155,000 a year. And we're going to talk to, again, Julia Donahue, who is leading the effort for this program. So welcome to Julia Donahue. You are president of the Friends of Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit. We're so happy you could join us on Stable Scoop and talk to us about this really important effort.
Thank you very much, Elena. Nice to hear your voice.
Tell me a little bit about, it's pretty clear what the title of the organization is. Obviously, you guys are trying to support the Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit.
That's right.
Why does it need support?
Well, as we all know, the economy has suffered a serious economic slowdown. And the city of Boston's budget was under a tremendous amount of pressure in 2008 and 2009. And the mayor felt that he just couldn't continue to keep these horses in the parks. And a group of us got together and pleaded with him to allow the horses to continue to patrol the 9 Emerald Necklace parks. And we would raise the money in order to retain them and maintain them, which is $155,000 a year.
To maintain the horses?
I'm sorry?
To maintain the horses?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
What is the Emerald Necklace for folks who aren't familiar with the Boston area?
Well, I think everybody's probably heard of Frederick Law Olmsted, the wonderful landscape architect who did Central Park.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
In Boston, there isn't one large park, although certainly there is Franklin Park and the Common, but a huge park like Central Park. There isn't that kind of a system. But there are a series of 9 parks that go around the city. So you have the Common and the Garden, and then behind the hospitals, you've got that Muddy River area.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got Jamaica Pond. And there are a variety of little parks there throughout. And then you've got Franklin Park. Okay. So there are 9 parks. It's about 1,000 acres and maybe 1,100, something like that.
I didn't realize it was that much.
Oh, yeah.
They seem pretty small, in the scheme of things, but when you add them all up.
I think that's why they call it a necklace, because it's connected.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
That's right. That's why it's called the Emerald Necklace, because it's the green around the city. And there is no question that these parks help the city have a very different environment than it would if the parks didn't exist.
Oh, my gosh. Can I attest to that? It really makes it a livable place.
I mean, I've chatted with people that have someone who's very ill in the hospitals, and they have said to be able to walk out and walk into the parks and just have some air to breathe and to be able to look at the muddy river, as muddy as it is, although it's cleaner now than it used to be, makes such an incredible difference to their well-being, and that they then can give back more when they go back to the hospital. And I think in general, the whole city, to have that wonderful public garden and the Common and Franklin Park, it's really wonderful. But there are if you look, there are really no system of major lights in those parks. There are a few lights here and there. There's the bridge on the public garden has lights, and there are a few lights on the Common. But, there's a lot of acreage, and in order to get across that acreage in a very timely fashion, the horses are able to do that. And the terrain is obviously not, level every place, and they're able to move a lot more quickly than anything else can.
Now, let me back up here a little bit. The city of Boston, do they have a mounted unit as well for the police department?
Well, unfortunately, the police mounted unit was dispersed, I believe, in the early part of 2009.
Okay, so it's been disbanded. So the only horses left as far as patrolling and policing are concerned are the ones...
Are these six.
Part of the park rangers unit.
That's right. Exactly. And they did, for instance, participate, when the Bruins were also happy that they won the Stanley Cup. When they had that parade, these horses helped the police keep order and make sure everybody had a good time without any problems.
Well, there's no question, I think, from anybody that mounted patrols are an extremely effective method for crowd control.
Right. I mean, if you notice with those horrible pictures coming out of London with, what happened last week with the vandalism, I mean, you see the horses everywhere. Now, happily, we don't have any of that in Boston, but...
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, exactly.
But, yeah, you're right. They are very imposing, and especially when you see them in a city environment, they're very imposing.
And they do so many
horse people. They seem bigger in a city, don't you think, Helena?
They do seem bigger. I mean, I'm just as impressed by them, and for as many times as I've handled these big horses, I'm still impressed when they've got a ranger or an officer on board and they're going through the streets and people. There's such a multifaceted. It's such a multifaceted partnership. You've got the patrol, you've got the PR that, people are just, the kids and even the grown-ups, they go wide-eyed when they see a horse go through the parks or down a city street.
There's no question they're major ambassadors for the city. There's no question about that.
Well, and I'm going to add to that and say they're also major ambassadors for horses, for horse people and horses everywhere, because in a lot of cases, that's the only contact some of these people are ever going to come with a horse.
That's true. That's definitely true. I was with Gene Savillo, who is the captain of the horses, this spring, and a little girl was so cute. A little girl came up with her mother. And the mother was, I would suspect she probably was in her early 30s, and the little girl was, like 6 or 7. But neither one of them had ever seen a horse in the flesh. And they were so excited. It was really wonderful. It was really wonderful.
So now you're going to take, you are heading up the Friends of the Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit. And what you and those with you have decided to do is basically raise funds to keep this program going. So even if the city says, we can't do it anymore, you're going to say, guess what? We can, through private donations, we can raise enough money to feed them, to house them, to keep them trained, everything that's required to run this program each year. Is that right?
Yes. We are clearly doing this as a public-private partnership with the city. I mean, we're doing this with the blessing of Mayor Menino and the blessing of the Commissioner, Tony Pollack, who is wonderful. And she, she's got a big problem because her budget is tight. And she's got a lot of parks and a lot of acreage to deal with. So, I mean, clearly it is a partnership with the city.
Okay. And then part of your fundraising effort is obviously getting the word out there. You guys have a fabulous website. I really like it.
Thank you.
It's very easy to read.
I'll tell you a story about that website.
Yeah.
Because we didn't. My major co-chair, who's Cokie Perry, and who is an adorable woman, and I didn't want to use any of the money that we had raised for the horses to establish the website, and yet we knew we had to have a website. So Cokie and I paid for this website, and the initial price that was quoted was a little steep, and George Wallace, who owns Discovery Communications up in New Hampshire, said, I grew up in Dorchester. I know those horses. I'll cut the price in half. Now, how wonderful is that?
That's what it's all about. That's why we crazy horse people get things done, because we lead the way with our hearts.
People really don't want to see these horses gone, and the outpouring is incredible to me. It really is incredible to me. People. People who are clearly on a fixed income and don't have a lot of discretionary cash have sent donations to these horses because they really don't want to see them gone.
Now, Julie, are you a horse person? Were you a horse person?
Well, I clearly am. When I was a little girl, I had a pony that my father got for me, and he felt it was important. He was way ahead of his time. He thought it was very important not to use the cart, to try to save gas. So the pony had a little cart, and we used to go everywhere in the little cart. Obviously in the spring and summer, not in the winter. But so I think horses are wonderful, and I think they give back a tremendous amount to human beings.
So now, you've started the fundraising. Are you still fundraising? Have you reached the goal? Are the horses going to stay? Or
we were able to give the city at the end of April last year $155,000.
Wow! Congratulations for that. That's not a small amount of money.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I have to tell you, at the beginning of April, I was very panicked. We didn't have it all, but it's just amazing the people that came out of the woodwork to help. We've started again for this year, and thanks to Don Little, we're going to be doing a major event, and the commissioner was wonderful about this. We're going to be doing a major event in the Common next Thursday, the 25th, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That is free to the public. It's at the corner of Beacon and Charles Street, and there are going to be 7 Olympic riders, and obviously their horses, and they're going to jump over some jumps and put on a show.
Now, is Peter Wild part of that group?
He is.
That's awesome.
He is definitely.
Awesome. He's native. He's a Massachusetts native, isn't he?
That's what I understand. Yeah.
We like it when they come home and they bring the goods back to Boston.
Right. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Now, will the horses also be featured at the Putnam Boston Equestrian Classic Horse Show?
They will. After the jumping exhibit, they will do a little dressage, something or another. I don't exactly know what they're going to do.
Oh, we don't care what they do, just as long as they show up and look cute. They're so clean and shiny. I think that's what impresses me the most is just the turnout of these guys when they get. I mean, they're parade horses as well, you know. And my God,
no, they're wonderful, and all 6 will be there. So Winston will be there, Mystic will be there, Jacob will be there, Liberty will be there, Frederick will be there, and Baron will be there. All
Don't
6.
you love their names? They're so Yankee.
Yeah, they are.
They are so Yankee.
Thinking that, actually.
No, they're wonderful. They're wonderful.
Well, we will.
Of course,
we're
you know which one I'm partial to. I'm looking at their pictures right here, and I'm partial to Winston because I really like black horses, and he's a Percheron cross, and I love Percherons. I'm going to have to adopt Winston, I guess, and you can do that, right? You can sort of adopt a horse online.
You definitely can. We have a wonderful website. It's www.savebostonshorses.org. No apostrophe on the S for Boston's. And you can adopt a horse. It's $1,000. And you'll get a wonderful certificate from us. And you do have the opportunity, I mean, it has to be set up ahead of time, but you do have the opportunity to visit your favorite horse in their stables. So you definitely can do that.
And if I adopt him, do I get him when he retires?
I don't think we've gotten that far.
Well, let's just say your name will be floating around somewhere on a list.
Yeah. At the moment, we've got to keep all of these horses working.
Okay.
Right.
No retiring.
All right, so we're going to put a link to your website on stablescoop.com. It's savebostonshorses.org. Thank you very much to Julia Donahue. And again, the organization is Friends of the Boston Park Rangers Mounted Unit. Look for links, and we've got some cute photos. We're going to grab some photos from your website and put them up on Facebook if that's okay with you, Julia.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you very much. That's wonderful.
Right, and thanks again.
Well, it was nice talking to you both. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think that was a good guest that you booked there. This is so important, and the reason it's important, too, you know, one of our missions here at the Horse Radio Network is to get new people involved in horses. Well, what gets new people involved in horses more than anything is meeting horses. And when you live in the city, you have no opportunity to meet horses in the city. This is the only opportunity they will have to see and meet a horse in person, many of them in their lifetimes. And if we want to get more people interested in horses, they have to have the opportunity to meet them. It's different when you meet a horse. Horse people know this. When you meet a horse, touch a horse, get around a horse, that's what gets you addicted. And, you know, that's the other reason that it's so important that we keep horses present in the urban areas.
And also because people who live in the urban areas vote. And if they are exposed to horses, they are inspired by horses, and hopefully they're more likely to vote for things that will support horsemanship, open space, conservation, saving the Mustangs, horse therapy programs, anything that helps horses continue to benefit the lives of our country. And so the more, you know, people are condensed in these urban areas. And again, they do vote. They do have an impact on our public policy. So if we've got these horsey ambassadors out there, it's just one more way for us to help create that mainstream support for these animals. But again, you know, as just like the Equine Land Conservation Group, you know, it goes hand in hand. You help save the mounted patrol. You also help the open areas, the Emerald Necklace, the open lands out west. Horses, open land, they go together.
It seems like we're fundraising on this show. It seems like a fundraising show.
It does, doesn't it? Well, we don't mean it to sound that way, but it's a good. And the reason, I mean, obviously, I picked this particular group because they're local to my area, but they are representative of different units around the country. Yes. So if you know that there is whether it's a mounted police patrol or park rangers, go out and find out how you can support them. I'm sure that these organizations are suffering from budget cuts just like they are here in the Northeast. So if your local mounted patrol is suffering from budget cuts, go find out, send them an email, give them a call, find out how you can help, even if it's just spreading the word.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Helena. We are going to have a very fun Tack and Habit segment here shortly. But first, we need to talk to you about Uncle Jimmy's. Uncle Jimmy, I missed him. He wasn't at Ada this time. He goes to every other one, so we missed him because he always takes us out to dinner.
Right.
And buys us nice dinners, so we had to pay for our own dinner this time, and Uncle Jimmy wasn't there. So I just thought I'd bring that up. Uncle Jimmy's is a terrific line of horse treats. If you want a horse treat that, one, entertains your horse, keeps him busy for a long time while he's in his stall, and is good and is not bad for your horse, then you want Uncle Jimmy's. Uncle Jimmy's brand products are made by horse people for horse people. They're hanging balls. He has Uncle Jimmy's squeezy buns. He has a number of different products that you're going to want to check out. And if you see them at your tack shop, and if you've never tried them before, take Helena and I's word for it. Grab the Uncle Jimmy's hanging ball, put it in the stall, and you're going to be amazed because horses love these things. We have found that there are a couple horses that will wait a day. It'll hang there for a day, and they won't do a thing with it. And you're going to go, I bought that thing, and they're not doing a thing with it. And then after they get one lick in the second day, then they won't stop.
It takes them a little while to figure it out.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
They sort of figure it out, but it cures boredom. In addition to being a treat, it helps with the boredom issue. That's one of the reasons they designed it. So check out Uncle Jimmy's products. You can go to uncle-jimmys.com, and you'll find all of his products, and they are at most tack shops or feed stores around the country. Look for Uncle Jimmy's brand products. Speaking of products, it is time for Tack and Habit. This week's Tack and Habit is sponsored by Kentucky Performance Products. Choose Kentucky Performance Products supplements because the horse that matters to you matters to KPP. This week I want to speak with you about Elevate Maintenance Powder. Has your horse become cranky and sullen? Is his coat losing that healthy bloom? Is he prone to colic and office feed? These are the symptoms of stomach irritation and ulcers. Prevent ulcers before they happen with Nalox Equine Antacid. Its unique formula buffers excess acid for up to 6 hours while it coats and protects a sensitive stomach. It's easy for Kentucky Performance Products to stand behind their products because they believe in them. Your complete satisfaction is guaranteed. If you're unsatisfied with any of their products, they will gladly refund your money. Learn more about Elevate Maintenance Powder and all of Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com. That's kppusa.com. All right, Helena, we recorded a number of segments while we were at the Ada show for some new products. We were looking for new products at this time, and we found some new products for you. And today's you're going to love because you have a child. Yes. You have a 9-year-old?
8.5-year-old. Close.
8.5-year-old. Close. Okay.
Yeah.
So children are going to love this product. It's done by a company called The Tack House, and it's thetackhouse.com. And we had Sarvi Emo of The Tack House, and she was terrific. It's a little interview that Jamie and I did, and we're going to post a picture on the show notes, and you're going to want to, and we'll post it on Facebook too. You're going to want to see the picture. Do you see the picture, Helena, of this product?
No,
in the
I
show
don't.
Notes?
Oh, God, yes, I do.
These are some helmet covers that you're going to want to hear about, so let's take a listen. Well, this is Glenn and Jamie, and we are at the American Equestrian Trade Association show, and we're doing this segment for the Tack and Habit show on Stable Scoop. And we have a cool product that I think Jennifer came across because she loves this stuff. And so we have, it's Sarvi Emo, right? Sarvi.
Yes.
Emo. Okay, so tell me, Sarvi, about this product you brought over.
Well, this is a new product.
Looks like we've been invaded by aliens, by the way.
Or a school of fish.
Yeah, something.
Well, this is a new product to the equestrian market. And it's basically a helmet cover, mostly geared towards kids to help them wear their safety helmets, make it fun for them. Mm-hmm. And they're pretty cool looking.
Jamie, you're best at describing things.
Yeah,
Describe the one that you have in your hand.
Okay, well, if you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, It's basically Nemo on your helmet cover, but he's shiny orange and gorgeous. This is a great idea for kids. And what we're looking at here, it's
I wanted it for
cover.
mine. What are you talking about?
It's a helmet cover that goes over your entire helmet, and it has flair. Let's just say flair. Like this one has the fins of a fish, and all of them come with googly eyes on them.
Yeah.
There's another one that's bright yellow, and it's another. I guess this is a fish. What kind of fish?
I would call that like
this?
a puffer fish.
I'd
or
call it a
spiky
cone fish. It like has the yellow
Has
cones all over it.
Yellow
spiky
spikes.
fish.
And if you know anything about skiing, you know that people love to wear crazy ski hats, and
Yes.
this is just adding to that for kids.
Yes.
Another one is a mouse head, but it's like fuchsia pink with the big googly eyes and a bow on its head. And then another one, which is going to be, I believe, a huge seller, is the princess hat.
And
And
it's
it is-
actually a good seller.
Yeah, I would imagine, because what it is here is
Princesses are hot.
Yes.
yeah. Well, it's a pink helmet cover, and in the front of it, there's a big, giant felt yellow crown, and then coming off behind it is almost, what would you call this?
Like a veil.
Like a wedding veil kind of thing,
but
yeah.
It's also hot
But it's pink.
And these are just...
And this
these
is just
are
a
touch
sampling
pink. Yeah.
of the different ones.
Of the
we have.
aliens that have invaded Helmet World.
How many other ones do you have?
Probably about 3 dozen different ones.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So what else will we see?
Oh, you'll see like a dog, a fox, skull and bones. There's a really cool green monster for boys that are really popular with boys.
What do these retail for, the helmet covers?
They retail for about $44.95 for
And-
the Lycra.
Will they fit over almost any helmet, or
The Lycra would. They are one size fit all.
Okay.
They will fit any kind.
They
of
stretch.
They stretch,
Yeah.
yeah. But the fleece ones, they don't stretch as much, so they come in 2 different sizes, and you'd have to get the proper size for your helmet.
I mean, this is glamorous, is what this is.
Yeah.
These are, imagine Olivia Newton-John, 80s, flash dance, whatever, fame, I'm going to live forever. And like just these bright colors of just tight, stretchy fabric that have just the cutest little faces on them and animals on them. And I love this product. These are great. And what a great way to encourage kids to wear their helmet.
Yes, and kids do love them.
I can see pony clubs loving these too.
Pony
for
clubs
games
love them.
teams, they would pick up
they
on
have
this
a
for
hoot
sure.
with them. And eventers actually love them a lot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I can see Jamie riding around with the fish head on her cross country course.
We'll have to come talk. My colors are red, white, and blue. We'll have to match.
No, wait a minute. If we're talking about Jamie, she would have to have the princess hat on. She's such a diva.
Come on, I'm not a diva. I want the monster one.
That's a cool one.
Now, your card says the Tack House. What is the Tack House?
The Tack House is an online tack store. And we have a Canadian presence and a U.S. presence.
Okay.
So we have a warehouse in Ontario and a warehouse in Buffalo. And so whichever country you're in, that's where we ship out of. There's no cross-border shipping. And we carry all kinds of equipment for English, Western, and the driving enthusiasts.
And is that where we can buy these wild
Yes.
alien helmet covers?
Yes, I got them all on the website.
All right,
Yeah.
terrific. So that's Tail Wags helmet covers, right?
That's right, yeah.
And what's the website so people can find them?
It's www.thetackhouse.com.
All right, and we'll put that in our show notes as well. And we're going to also post pictures on our Facebook page because you have to see the
We have to
pictures.
try
We're going
them
to
on.
try them on right now. We're going to do the
Awesome.
pictures. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Sarvi, for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? You're going to be buying some for Gracie?
I'm going to be buying some for Gracie and me. Which one? I like that little gold one on Jamie's head. That's
Yeah, that one's kind of cool. And then they have turtles, and they have all different kinds, as she said. They have 30 different designs. We'll put a link to it where you can go see them all at thetackhouse.com. She was
the
fun.
band is a big winner.
That's
Yeah.
fun. Guess
All
who
right.
found these at the show?
Jennifer.
Yes, exactly. Now, the
Did she
helmet
get
didn't
one?
quite fit me. You can tell the helmet was a little small, but they thought that pokey yellow one would be perfect for me because I'm kind of scattered.
Like pufferfish. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of looks scattered. Yep. So it was fun. These are fun products. They're not expensive. Hop on over to thetackhouse.com and check them out. I think they're $39, most of them. So if you're looking for something in, pony clubs or just Halloween's coming
they're
up.
just so
I just heard
cute.
today Halloween's only 70 days away. So,
All right.
they're just so much fun. Check them out. That's my Tack and Habit pick of the week.
Pretty good, Glenn. I'm impressed. You did well without me.
Yes, I did.
Nice
See,
job.
that was something that you wouldn't have thought I would have done.
No, I'm impressed.
Jennifer made me.
All right. Well, she's a smart. That's why she's my friend. All right, we are going to.
We have to wrap
Hey,
it
where's
up. You
my
have to
little?
get out of here.
Yeah, my. But I'll have to do my Pony Club. Everything I learned about life, I learned in Pony Club.
Yeah, it wasn't in there.
Do
And I thought
Pony
maybe
Club?
you were, because we were limited on time with so many guests. I thought maybe you were.
No, it just kind of disappeared. Oh, that was really good too. Damn. Well, you guys will have to miss it this week. It'll be back next week. It's pretty cute. We want to, let's see, next Friday will be another episode of Stable Scoop. Who knows what we're going to talk about? For details
3
about.
years we've been saying that same line.
I know. I mean, we still don't know what we're going to talk about a week ahead of time. And 3 years from now, it'll be the same
It's the
thing.
same way.
For details about today's show, go to stablescoop.com, or you can find us on Facebook. We'll put a link to all the photos and information about today's guests. And we do love your feedback, so don't leave us hanging. Let's hear from you.
And thanks to our sponsors, Equestrian Collections, Uncle Jimmy's, and Kentucky Performance Products. We appreciate them all being involved in the Stable Scoop radio show and for their continued support. Equestrian Collections, you realize, has been with us since almost day one.
Chris, we love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
No
since
matter
the
how
very
crazy
beginning.
we get, she
3
stands on
years.
our side. Yeah.
She puts up with us. Be sure to visit all the other great shows on the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com. Don't forget we have 2 new ones, Equestrian Legends that Chris puts out, and also the driving radio show that I do with Wendy Ying. Well, Helena, that's it for this week.
That is plenty, my dear, but there will be more next week.
We did a closing right.
We did it! No blooper reel. Blooper reel.
Go to therapy. Kevin Yates.
All right.